When the leaves of summer turn to red and gold, and the football games bring a hint of the cold, time to get away. We'll pack the car with escape in mind, forgetting about classes, leaving books behind, time to get away. Empty cottage sitting on the shore, tourists all left about a month before, and we're gonna have a good time. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time.
We're going on now.
A ball break, walking hand in hand in the moonlight. We'll breathe the sweet salt air, I swear we'll never part.
Good evening and welcome to the Gore N More podcast. I am your guest host, Heather Slasher Slut Die. With me is Tyler Roebuck,
Gorehounds.
Scuba Steve Vasquez,
What is going on, Gorehounds? Glad to be back.
and Brodie Kaine, TJ's doppelganger kangabanger from down under.
Howdy, let's get fucking rowdy.
What happened to the explosions? There were supposed to be explosions when Brodie came out.
No, there's no green screen, so.
Damn it.
It is a pleasure to be with you all tonight for this special fan cast takeover episode.
Yes.
So TJ in his infinite wisdom decided for the 100th, that's right, 100th episode, he would let the fans take over. So this is going to be a true shit show.
An extreme true shit show.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
But, hey, Brodie, before we get into it, what's it time for?
Your slice of motherfucking life.
Woo!
Robofuck. Hit us
Roebuck.
up.
Oh, not much new here. Work, sleep, shit, drink beer.
Yeah. Hell yes.
Got a roof over my deck. Basically, just hitting the episodes on the Gore N More lately, and just doing some research, some homework, and that's about it.
Very nice.
How about you, Brodie?
Yeah, just bulk amounts of work, especially in these dark times with COVID. There's nothing much we can really do down this way. So I've just been watching nothing but bulk amounts of films. Like, I got the Exorcist 3 director's cut, an amazing film. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you check it out. However, I do prefer the theatrical version. They throw some rushes and all that in the director's cut. Because it was meant to be titled Legion, like on the director's book. So it was really cool to see his vision for that and the studio's vision. But I think the studio took a better turn for that one. But yeah, not much really. Yeah, just work and watch movies pretty much. What about you, Scuba Steve?
Well, same thing, man. Just working and trying to stay free of COVID. You know, I work for a school, so we're trying to prepare for when the students come back. So we're completely sanitizing everything in the school right now and making sure that everything is perfect for social distancing. And they're doing remote learning right now, but a lot of kids are anxious to come back, so we're just trying to get ready for them when they come back. So that's all that's really going on with work. I did start doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so my chunky butt will no longer be chunky. I'm dying, guys. I am dying. I almost died, literally. I am not even over exaggerating. I almost died the first class I went to. I couldn't breathe. And finally, when I caught my breath, I stood up and I was like, okay, I got this. I'm going back into class. I almost passed out. So I was like, you know what? I tap out. I'll see y'all next week. I'll be back next week. Nice. And then I did watch the new Bill and Ted movie, which was excellent.
Fuck yeah.
I loved it. I fucking loved it. Lots of nostalgia in that movie, lots of throwbacks. But it reminded me a lot of the stuff that they said in the Jay and Silent Bob reboot about reboots and remakes, and just kind of stuck in my head. And I was like, this is literally the perfect reboot of the Bill and Ted series if they continue to, make other films. But it was really good. It was a really good movie. But that's it, man. Just like you said, watching movies and trying to survive. Heather, what have you been up to?
So Saturday, I got to take my boat out for the first time in 3 weeks because I've been going camping in Pennsylvania and went to the beach down in Hatteras the same time that the tropical storm came through, but I won't get into that. But so that was great to see my boat again. She missed me. And I went to a waterfront restaurant and I'm sitting at the bar with my friend and this woman comes in and she's like going up to everybody, is that your boat at the end of the pier? Is that your boat at the end of the pier? And I was like, I'm not at the end, I'm in a slip. And she was just like freaking out. And then I heard her saying, it's sinking. And I was like, what the fuck? So I jump up, I run outside. She was feeding birds and she had dropped her bag of bread and she was so upset that she was littering that she's going around the entire bar trying to find somebody who has a boat hook so she can get this bag out of the water. And she freaked me out, making me think my fucking boat is sinking.
Wow, that's fucking insane. Did she get her bread though? Did she get her bread?
So, okay. Well, so to finish off the story, by the time I got out there, it had already drifted. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, But then I was so stressed out, I ended up smoking a cigarette with my friend. I'm not a smoker. But so we were standing out there for a little bit, and then I looked over and I realized it was coming right up on the pier next door because there's another bar right next door. So I was like, fuck. I grab my boat hook, I run all the way down the pier, run through the parking lot to the other bar, run down their pier so I can get this fucking thing for her. Because when I saw it, I was like, now I got to.
Oh, damn. At least you got it for her.
Yeah. So I was like the hero.
Definitely. Good deed for the rest of the year. That's
right.
Too much running.
So you're like 2020, it's good enough.
So other than that, working and catching up on some old Gore N More movies that I hadn't seen. And then today I got home from work and was pleasantly surprised to find this in my mailbox.
Ooh,
nice.
Signed copy by Adam Marcus of Secret Santa. Oh! And I haven't seen it. I had no way to get to it. So this will be my first time watching it.
Nice.
It's a good film. Really great film.
Really excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's my slice of life, I guess.
Hell yeah. Very nice.
Nice slice.
So we were going to kind of go through some Gore N More history. We made a list of some important episodes. Does anybody want to start off with some of the first few episodes here?
So we're going to go through the Gore N More, the Gore N More timeline.
Right.
So this is from the first episode all the way to episode, what are we on? We're episode
100 now. So yeah.
Well, I know we're 100. We're 100.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. But we're not going to.
I'm going to go ahead and review this one as it being awesome. All right. This is an awesome episode. So I guess I'll go ahead and I'll start off with the first few, and we can go from there. Let me see. Actually, somebody else start off. I take that back because
Tyler, I nominate you.
Oh yes.
Which
Pressure is on.
are we going? Okay. I believe with number 1, The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh man, it was so good. I loved the way that movie was portrayed as like documentary style, or like you would see in like Unsolved Mysteries.
Yes,
where they have the just that feel of what's the word, dramatization.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love the way that movie just feels and just pushes that idea along. And it was such a great episode too.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was a great first one to start with.
I have a very differing opinion on that.
Well, I mean, and it was kind of a good episode for them to start with, mainly because not only is it a movie, but it actually happened. You know what I mean? Like it's based on true events. They never caught the dude. I mean, and what better way to kick off a podcast than with a horror movie that actually occurred? You know what I mean? So I think that was a good, strong start.
Oh, hell yeah. And I might throw a little bit of a side note in there. The remake that they did on that episode, that was great too, because it also ties in with the first. Like, it's not just a remake, it's a remake and sequel like Evil Dead 2. And I think that was really good to hear TJ and that talk more so about that part of the film, how you could take it either way, like it's its own film or leads on to the sequel. And I don't know, and it's cool how they brought some of the kills back as well. You know, it just didn't feel like that. Well, it was. I thought it was a really different and cool idea. I don't know. It's sort of along the lines of the Scream. I don't know. Did you feel that it was sort of a bit like Scream, a little bit in some parts?
Yeah, I could see that.
Make it a little bit meta.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I really enjoyed both the episodes. I thought they were great.
Right. So,
and the film's great too.
Right.
Absolutely.
So in regards to the podcast aspect of it, so Chad will tell you this, and TJ probably the same. It was like boring. Like they didn't know what they were doing yet. I mean, Chad in his notes he sent me, he said that episode was like an audiobook. It was like they walked. It was like they told you like from like, you know, every single like footstep. It was like they gave you the blocking or whatever for like the entire movie. It was like an audiobook.
Yeah.
So I would not say it was a good podcast episode.
Well, not that it, you know, and yeah, of course, but everybody has to have their start. You know what I mean? And they started with that, and you know, and the whole audiobook aspect, you know, regardless of that, they had an idea, and from that first episode, it just, you know, progressed and progressed until they finally got the formula down, and boom, and now we have 100 episodes of Gore N More, you know, and they kick ass. I mean, every episode that I have seen, and I've come in very late, you know, into this Gore N More game, but every episode that I have seen, I mean, it's like watching 4 of my friends, you know, just sit there and shoot the shit about movies, you know, and it started very, very humbly, but now it's grown into something that I think, you know, we all love, you know?
Yeah. So it's, I mean,
absolutely.
It's amazing just from like, I mean, obviously, like you were saying, it grew and grew and grew, but just from episode 1 to episode 2, the change was huge. It was like, they listened to it afterwards and they're like, what is it? They were like, this is not going to work. And just like because I just listened to The Burning just like a week or 2 ago. And that was like dramatic difference for sure.
After they got their feet wet, they had a feel of where they wanted to go and how they sounded. So that was one giant leap. Right.
Oh yeah, and they brought Wes Not Craven Payne in on that, and he's definitely got a good personality. He's got a lot of humor that he brought in there as well. They had a good dynamic going.
Yep.
So does anyone want to say anything about The Burning?
Costanza, young Costanza.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And
I don't know, Tom
Glazer.
Savini. The what?
Oh God, Glazer.
Glazer, the ultimate douche.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh God damn it.
Tom Savini's work on this film is nothing more than fucking a masterpiece. Like his work in every film, I think, is great. I honestly reckon this film was when he was in his prime, making this. And I think I watched a behind the scenes featurette. Well, not behind the scenes. It was more so an interview with Tom Savini talking about his years of work, and he mentions The Burning, and he goes, honestly, when I was doing the burn makeup on the villain, I was picturing it back to being when I was in the war. I would see dead corpses of burned victims, and that was just what I was trying to imitate over the face of what's his name? I can't remember his name. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so it's really interesting that all his work over the years is based off real life killings from the war and all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty gnarly when you think about it. But yeah, it's really interesting. how his mind works. And I think Savini was at the height of his game at that time, pretty much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So next, they did a doubleheader for Silent Night, Deadly Night 1 and 2, and that was a lot of fun. But I enjoyed both the movies, and I really enjoyed the podcast. Obviously, 2 is not a good movie, but it was still fun to watch.
Well, the second film is basically the first film, just with 40 minutes of extra, well, something different at the end of it, pretty much. We're just recapping.
Yep, with all the recap, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
Definitely a fun time, though. Like, the boys have always said, even if it's a shit movie or if it's not to par, it's still fun to talk about and dive deep into these movies. And I mean, with those two, yeah, like you said, it's basically a recap, and then they added some other stuff. That's a really good example of why they put the two together and had one show, one episode for these, but it made for a great episode.
Yeah, exactly. It's always fun. Yeah, as you said, like if the movie is terrible, it's always good to hear TJ and all them sort of take the piss out of it, and make it their own and quotable too. Like, how many times do you hear like garbage day on the show?
Garbage day.
Garbage day. So yeah, and that's pretty much the only reason I watched it was because of that quote. I just kept hearing it on the show. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, and I'm like to TJ on the side, I'm like, what's garbage day from? He's like, have you not fucking seen Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2? I'm like, nah, but I will now. But no, that's great.
I loved how they, when they were just like, shitting around talking at the end, they were like, we should get Eric Freeman to do the Gore N More intro.
That'd be cool.
I'm Eric Freeman, and this is Gore N More. I liked that. They should still do that.
Yeah, I've never seen. I'm sad. It's sad to say I've never seen Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 or 2. I may have seen it maybe when I was like way younger, and I don't remember it really,
Yeah.
But I know what the movie's about. It's one of those ones that I haven't seen it in a long time,
Yeah.
If I've even seen it. Like I remember seeing the cover, when we used to go rent VHS back in the day. I remember seeing the cover for it, but I don't remember ever sitting there and watching it. Like paying attention watching it, you know what I mean? Definitely something I need to check out.
The first one gets you 3 or 4 really nice tits. Just saying.
Very nice. Very nice. That's always a good thing. Scuba love the titties.
Titty, bang, bang.
Marvelous.
All right, so we were going to jump ahead to April Fool's Day. I've never seen that one. Chad had mentioned it. It was episode 10, and he mentioned it because they had Alex Probst on it. Do any of you know anything about that? I didn't see it or watch the podcast.
I did not see that episode.
No?
No. Haven't seen it. Haven't heard it. No.
Okay.
I've seen the movie. The movie is a horrible movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and I listened to the podcast, but I didn't see the movie at the time. And then after that, I got the opportunity to watch it. And yeah, their review was spot on. I mean, it was just,
because there's some ratings that they give to films sometimes, and I'm just like, what? No, like that should be a little bit higher. Come on, guys. But this one, it should be a little bit lower. Come on, guys.
They give it a 1.6.
They gave it a 1.6. It should be like a 1.
All right. Any comments on The Dentist? That was episode 15. It was actually the last one they had with Wes before we moved on to, start working with Johnny.
I know Chad was just so disappointed and hated this movie so severely.
I still haven't seen it, but I remember Chad saying that.
It's not that bad. I've seen worse. That was my point that I was getting at. I've seen so much worse garbage out there. But I mean, it wasn't. It was, it was over the top, acting and this and that. I found it to be more kind of on the goofy end of things than anything else. But yeah, that's kind of how that episode ran. I mean, you just mentioned it today, and then you mentioned the sequel or whatever, and the tagline was "Brace yourself."
Oh yeah.
And then the first episode we had with Big Johnny D was one of my favorite films.
Oh, fuck
hands
yeah.
down, one of the best movies ever made. And I saw your post today, Brodie. I saw your post. I saw that, and I was like, I agree 1,000%.
Yes.
The Crow, and they gave it a 4.25.
Yeah.
That shit needs to go higher.
That's a 5.
5.0.
We're changing it. We're changing Gore N More history. The Crow gets a fuck it. The Crow gets a 10. It's a 10. Give it a fucking 10.
Fuck yes.
But
Fuck
that's the first episode we got with Big Johnny D. Did you guys watch that episode?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Well, that was still audio, but yeah.
Yeah.
How do you think Johnny changed the dynamic, if at all, of the show at that point?
The group was expanding. I mean, it just seemed, and there seemed to be a better flow.
Yeah.
I mean, just to be plain and simple like that, there was a better flow, I think. I mean, Johnny just fit that spot so perfect.
Yes, 100%. He's got this character about him that I think everyone just sort of like sticks to him like glue and feeds off him. Like he's just got that sense of humor, I think. And it was interesting to hear Johnny's point of view coming in on that film, because he's also got the same dynamic as TJ and all them with what he thinks about the films, but it's also fun to hear his little spin on it as well, obviously with his questions. That's but yeah, no, as Tyler said, the group was expanding, and I think Johnny was a perfect choice to come in on this. Now him and TJ, I find that him and TJ, as much as the rest of them, just fit so well together, and pretty much.
All right.
Yeah, I think Johnny is just so lovable. Like he just has this drawing power. I think that's why the Wake and Bake is working really well as well. Like he draws people to him. He just has this lovability. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of it has to do with the way he and TJ, they go very. I mean, all four guys go very well together, but TJ and Johnny, they have this draw to them. You know what I mean? And that's why Wake and Bake works also, because they have this. I don't even know. I can't explain it.
They have a chemistry.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. Yeah, that's basically what it boils down to. They have great chemistry together, and and he's when I stepped in, that one episode that I was in, I was very nervous. You know what I mean? Because I didn't know nothing about nothing. I'm just a dude, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to do this?" And I was like, "Whoa. Sure." And Johnny was just like, "Dude, we're just we're just here. We're four guys just bullshitting." And when he said that, I was like, "You know what? That's right." Why the fuck am I nervous? We got this. I got this. I have my notes. I've watched the movie religiously, so it's the chemistry that all the guys have together on the show. I think it works very well, and that's why they've done so well and have 100 episodes now. You know what I mean? And hopefully they get another 100 out of it.
Absolutely.
I hope so too, because I want to hear some of the other movies that they do. So
definitely,
please keep doing it, boys, because it's definitely working, and we love your content. I
mean, and we're always on there commenting. You know what I mean? Like, the show pops up, and it's TJ will send me the link. The show's live, and I'm like, damn it, I'm still at work or something. But I'll pop it on my phone, and I'll set it up, and I'm watching. And my goal every time I watch is try to get one of them to laugh. And I usually make Johnny laugh with my comments. Usually, he's the one that I always get.
Yep.
Oh, before we move on from the Crow, I wanted to mention one thing. I love that episode, but it was also like the saddest episode, because you get to hear all of the fucked up shit that went into Brandon Lee's death.
Yeah.
I was like, I loved getting to hear all of that, like in every gory detail, but it was so sad.
Now here's a question I pose for y'all, because I can say that, you know, we all love this movie. You know, Crow's a great movie. Do you think that it would have the power behind it that it has right now if Brandon Lee wouldn't have died on set?
No, and they talked about that. So first of all, because he died, it ended up switching studios, and then they put another, $5 million. They put more money into it.
Yeah.
So that'll, in and of itself, like they put more money into it, so the production went up. But also, yeah, I mean, obviously, it got more people wanting to see it. Tragically, because it didn't need any hoopla, you know.
All right, yeah, that was just my little random question that popped in my head.
Yeah.
But in having said that, though, it still would have been an amazing film. But just with that legacy behind it, you're like, oh shit, like this is his last film. He went out with a bang. Like if it didn't have all that controversialness about it, I don't think it would have been as big as it was. If you go on to Shudder, there's a series called Cursed Films, and there's a half an hour episode based on The Crow.
Oh, wow.
And it has the producers, the special effects artists talking about his time with Brandon. And there's this really, really, it's actually gut-wrenching scene in the doco. It's like the special effects artist was taking continuity shots of his makeup as Eric or Brandon is laying on the ground after he gets thrown out the window. Prior to that, just before in the movie, he gets shot. And that is the scene that killed him. And then you hear the director say, isn't this very eerie that this looks like his autopsy photos? And it's just an awkward silence. It's just so haunting that, words can't even describe it. You really got to see it. It's really intriguing to listen to and watch. So little recommendation for you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm going to have to check it out. Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, so moving on, the next episode 19, was an interview with the legend himself, Mick Strawn, which led into the Rabbit Hole series.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember that one?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Vaguely.
It's a great start. It was just a great start to what was to come. I mean, with this, everything kind of stemmed from Gore N More. And then with this leading into Rabbit Hole, and then the Power Hour, everything kind of seemed to start from here.
Yep.
It was a great platform, and Mick was awesome, is awesome.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Fucking legendary.
You definitely know you're doing something right when you have Mick on your 19th episode. So that's a huge step. And hats off to TJ for taking it. Like, that man's got balls to do that. But Mick's such a nice guy. Like, those 2 feet off each other, like, they're just best mates. Like, they've known each other their whole lives. Really, really great move on TJ's behalf. And, yeah, it's all coming up. It's good.
Yeah, and they both have the same kind of personality of really liking to fuck with each other.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so then episode 21 was Night of the Demons with special guest Mike King from the Graveyard Shift podcast. How many of you
does anyone remember Mike King? Because I didn't catch that one.
No, I didn't catch that either. Yeah.
But they did give Night of the Demons a 3.0 on that episode.
Ooh.
Which is it's fair. It's fair.
Yeah.
Now, I will let me tell a little story here about Night of the Demons, okay? I was a kid when I watched this movie, and I don't know why. This movie scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. And as I got older, I could never remember the name of the movie. All I could remember, and this was before, like, internet is what internet is now. I want to say it was like 2001 or 2002, something like that. And I had a dream that reminded me of this movie. And I was like, what the fuck was the name of it? And I could not for the life of me remember the name of the movie. No, and none of my friends knew what the hell I was talking about. I was like, dude, it had a chick in an Alice in Wonderland costume, and she was in some weird house, and there was something with the coffin, and then some old man ate an apple with razors, and that's all I remember. That is all I remember from the movie. And then years later, probably 2016, I'm like, I type it in Google because it popped back in my head, and I was like, holy shit, Night of the Demons. And I watched it on Amazon Prime, and I was like, why the hell was I scared of this? I was such a dumb. Don't get me wrong, Angela's creepy as shit, but yeah, no, that movie terrified the shit out of me when I was a kid. Just my little side story there. Sorry, guys.
No, nice.
The only example
That's what we need.
The only example that I have of like something scaring me when I was a kid that, was Chucky. I wouldn't even, just watching the previews, I wouldn't watch the movie. I was terrified of Chucky. So I did not see a single Child's Play movie until about 2 years ago.
I think the scariest thing with Chucky is when he makes that pissed off face, like that. Like in the first two movies, like when he just makes that mad face. I see, I was a little bit older when that one came out, but yeah, that one was kind of creepy too.
I'll tell you even something better. I wasn't even afraid of like most horror movies. I was afraid of the fucking Elephant Man and that dude from Mask because their face was all deformed. Yes. And that was a true story. I'm like, hang on, I've grown up my whole life watching horror movies that aren't true. And then I look at this drama, like I look at the fucking DVD or video cover, and here's this guy with this deformed face and it's a true story. I literally couldn't sleep for weeks. Like, it mentally scarred me.
I used to love that movie, Mask. I loved that. I used to sit there and watch it. When it would come on HBO, I would just sit there and watch the shit out of that movie.
Rocky Dennis.
Yeah.
Rocky. Yeah. That's the one, yeah. Yeah, random.
All right, who wants to take over now?
So then it was the Adam Marcus interview, and you guys know I just got his movie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely a great interview. I love Adam. He's such a great guy.
Oh, always takes time to talk to his fans. He's great.
Oh, absolutely.
I've never met him yet. I haven't met him yet. Yet being the keyword. I'm sure I will. With the way that, because the way I describe even you guys, I say horror family because that's what we are. You know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, I met this person, cool. It's like a family thing, you know what I mean? Like it's horror draws us all together, and we're just one big horror family. I met TJ in Blairstown. That's how I found out about Gore N More, and ever since then I've been hooked.
Yep. Well, I think this episode was about his Hearts of Darkness campaign.
Yes, the Hearts of Darkness. Yep. That's when TJ got involved with that.
Right, but he also talks about Jason Goes to Hell and all the bullshit crap that he got with that. And
yeah.
And that's when I got turned around on that too. It was, I think even TJ had asked me before, what my thoughts were, what's been a change. And it's like, well, literally, I never understood that movie. And then when I got into the Gore N More and then got to talk a little bit with Adam, and then this Hearts of Darkness came along, I rewatched it like I was doing the notes for the podcast and this and that. And I had this epiphany, just this sudden burst of knowledge of like, oh my God, this is why this is. So, I mean, it was just amazing to hear the backstory and hear that from Adam.
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a crazy story too. I love it. I love every time Adam tells it because he has such passion in telling it. But at the same time, he's like, if people tell me to fuck off and all this, I do not care. Like, it's a bittersweet moment for him. He was 23 years old making a massive film in one of the biggest horror movie franchises of all time. And yeah, so what if it sucks to many of them? He was trying to do something different. And I think what he did was fucking great. And to put Freddie's glove at the end, I mean, like, come on.
Oh yeah.
That started.
Yeah. That started that we got, years later and whatnot. And a lot of, even still to this day, a lot of people give shit to that movie, but I like it. You know what I mean? Even when I first saw it, I was like, okay, where the hell is Jason? Oh, okay. This is what's going to happen. And, and to me, it kind of made sense for the other movies, because for me it was kind of like, okay, well, if Jason could body hop this entire time, that's why he was a grown-ass man in part 2 when he was a kid at the end of part, so it did kind of tie some other stuff in it, and kind of, if you look at it, it makes sense, to the people that, oh no, that doesn't make any sense. No, it kind of does. It kind of does make sense,
Yep.
I wish we would have gotten the Freddy versus Jason versus Ash aspect out of it, which would have been amazing. But
I got those comics.
Oh, I have the comics too. I love the comics. And how great would that have been to see on screen?
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Amazing.
But like, the studios didn't want their masterpiece to die. You know what I mean? So there couldn't have been a clear winner, I guess, at the end of the day. So, but we got a good Jason Goes to Hell. I love that movie. Still one of my favorites.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and after dealing with, all of the corporate studio stuff for years and years and years, now Adam's getting to live the dream with Skeleton Crew. How awesome is that? Yeah,
definitely.
It's awesome.
Yep.
I'm so happy for him. That's so cool. So the next one we might linger on for a bit, because it's episode 27, The Fly. That's one of my favorite movies, and
I'm not one for the Oscars. Like, I don't give really two fucks about the Oscars, but I'm just glad that film won an Oscar for its special effects. I mean, fuck.
Yeah, the special effects in this movie are amazing. For the time that the movie came out, I mean, those special effects still to this day are great. Hands down, great.
They hold up better than CGI, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this would be on par with John Carpenter's The Thing too, I think. Those two films, the effects in those are fucking terrifying, and just the camera, the lighting on some scenes in that film, it's just, or both films even, like, great film. Sorry, that's a little side.
Sorry.
I was like, what the hell? Skynet's taking over. Take cover.
Yep.
FBI
listening in again.
That's 2020 for you.
I mean, at this point, would we really be surprised? I mean, come on.
No, not at all.
Not really spit.
Oh, I forgot they had Jason Brooks on.
Yes, Jason Brooks. Yeah. Jason Brooks. Love that guy.
Brooksy.
He is one of the most coolest people I have ever met. I got to hang out with Jason in Blairstown. And like I said, I'm from Texas. I've never been out of state for by myself. Usually it's family trips or whatnot. And I said, fuck it, I'm gonna go to Jersey for the opening of the Friday the 13th Museum. I'm gonna watch Vengeance. And I had everybody on Facebook. I just never met anybody in person before. And it was just hands down one of the greatest experiences of my life. Jason gave me a fucking badass autograph that says, to my BFF, fuck you. Love it. So yeah, genuine guy. He's really cool, and he's Jason right now. He's on TikTok, and he literally answers all of his fans. Anybody that answers on there, he will make a video or he will reply. He's and people love the fact that he played Jason. Even though that it's a fan film, like, people are like, yo, Jason just told me what's up on TikTok, and he gets a kick out of it, and you can see that he's really a genuine person with the way that he interacts with, with the fans on his TikTok. So it was a good episode with him on there as well.
Hell yeah.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, so obviously the special effects of The Fly are the biggest thing, but I mean, everything is great. The story, the acting, everything. I mean, and I love the way that you fall in love with Brundle so much, and it's like it kills you to
see the transformation, and yeah.
what makes that chemistry between the two so great is that they were actually a couple at the time,
Right.
Gina Davis. So it's also, and to have David Cronenberg play off that, I think he did an amazing job. But he's always writing great films, David. And to have this as a remake, like, I think he's outdone himself. Side note, The Fly 2, did you like that?
Yes.
That was a decent sequel.
It was good. It's one of those ones too that I haven't seen in years. But it was. I remember it being really good.
Yeah.
Not as good as the original, but it held up. It held its own.
Well, I think the special effects designer directed that film, actually. So after he won the Oscar, they're like, we're doing Fly 2. You got the job. Have at it.
Mm-hmm.
That face melt scene, oh, my God. That's one of the best shots. He spits out the acid. It's great. Yeah, no, The Fly 1's an amazing film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and I remember when listening to the podcast, all of them kept being like, what do we know Gina Davis from? And they were like, the only thing they could think of was Beetlejuice. And I was like, A League of Their Own. Are you kidding me? Like, they're completely oblivious. Yeah, like, she did a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Hold on. Oh, this is sort of a trivia thing, but like, since we're on the fly, I remember at the end, not at the end, one of Johnny's questions was, where the fuck do you get this ready supply of baboons? And in the process of them joking about it, TJ ends up coming up with a movie idea. He's like, instead of Mr. Poplar's penguins, does anyone remember? Instead of Mr. Poplar's penguins, it'll be Mr. Brundle's baboons.
Oh, God.
I thought that was hilarious.
Mr. Brundle's baboons. Damn it.
I would watch that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's not much I wouldn't watch, though. So
that's
So you two dig up dinosaurs?
Oh.
Try to. Yo. Yo. Yo.
what the fuck?
Yo.
Hey, TJ played that at the end of the episode. I was laughing. Oh my God. I don't know where he got that. It's so great. Oh, Goldblum, man. Oh.
Man.
the man.
Goldblum. Just kidding.
So what's next? The Friday the 13th fan films.
Ah. Oh, that was
a really
Bobby.
good.
Yeah, that's Bobby. Bobby.
Bobby Boucher.
Damn it, Bobby.
And Corey.
And Corey
Kaufman.
motherfucking Kaufman.
Yeah.
Big Sea Dog.
Yeah, so TJ is definitely a huge proponent of fan films. And he was a big part of the fundraising campaign for Vengeance and Hearts of Darkness, and I'm sure a bunch of other ones that I'm not thinking of.
Jason Rising.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, Jason Rising, yeah.
So, they went through. They talked about all the three movies they were talking about hadn't quite come out yet. It was Vengeance and
Never Hike Alone.
No, it wasn't Never.
No,
had already been out.
Jason Rising was
Jason
the second
Rising.
one.
Right, and then
Fall of Camp Blood was
yes,
Was
yes.
it Fall of Camp Blood? Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
No.
Did anyone ever see Fall of Camp Blood? I never did.
I don't think it's come out yet.
Oh, really?
It's not done.
No, it hasn't come out yet.
It's like Jason Rising, same deal.
Yeah. And
Oh, wow.
I'm really, really waiting for Jason Rising. That
Oh,
one.
No,
The trailer had me hooked from the get go.
me too.
First, I was like, "Whoa, I'm on board. I'm sold. I am sold."
Yep.
But you know, like Bobby and Corey, I cosplay as Jason also. You know what I mean? So I'm down for anything Voorhees. You know, so you keep giving me good movies, and even if they're decent, and I'm on it. You know.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where I have a bigger respect for the fan film basis, even if it's, you know, not up to par. You know, oh well, they should have done this or that. That looked fake. I got to keep telling myself this is a fan film. You know, these are, you know, just people that love the movie so much that want to see something done, and they either do a Kickstarter. I've seen some of them that just do it themselves. There's no kind of commercialization behind it. There's no advertising. And I've seen a few really, really good, you know, short 15, 20-minute films. So the ones that do these fan films, I have the highest level of respect for.
Definitely. And you know, a lot of them that don't do the crowdfunding, everything comes out of their own pocket, you know, and that right there, like you said, you know, they love the series so much that they want to create a piece of history within that series themselves, even though it's not canon, but they're still putting their hearts and souls and everybody that's involved with the movies, you know, put their hearts and everything into the movie because of the passion for the franchise, you know?
Yep.
And I was talking to Kaufman a while back, and I was kind of telling him, you know, I have an idea for a movie that nobody's done. It is a Friday the 13th. Nobody's ever done anything close to what I have in my mind. And we were just kicking some shit back and forth. And who knows, maybe one day it'll happen and I make that a reality. But
Jason takes Iowa.
Yeah. Yes. Jason takes El Paso, Texas.
Oh shit, he's dead. The movie will only last 5 minutes. Everyone's got to cut.
Town just for tacos. You were wrong. Jason Voorhees crosses the border.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
So then, do what?
I was just say, Tyler, you want to talk about Tourist Route?
Do it.
That one I was not able to see. I could not find it anywhere at the time.
I haven't seen it either. I think it's on Prime or something now.
It might be on Prime. I want to say it's possible that it's on Prime.
Yeah. I was trying to fit that in last week, but didn't quite. Brodie?
Yeah, what I will say, I think it was always on my list to watch, and if it wasn't for Gore N More, actually, they exposed it to me. I listened to the episode. Well, no, sorry, I didn't. I watched this, then listened to the episode. Great film. I think it's late 70s film, but yeah, it's a batshit crazy story about these young friends go somewhere for the weekend. They wind up at this museum or somewhere, and there's all these ventriloquist dolls that are fucking mannequins or whatever, and it's like they're possessed. And then you find out it's telekinesis, and this person has telekinesis. It's just creepy, atmospheric, great film. I loved it. Honestly, if they remade it today, I think they could do something really neat with it. Because it sort of felt like that 2012. Well, it was not like Maniac when they remade that. So it was like the play with mannequins and just the really atmospheric piece. I think they could do something really good with it today. But that film was highly underrated, I find. So definitely do yourselves a favor and suss it out, and even listen to the episode Tourist Trap. From what I recall, it was pretty fun to listen to TJ and that break that down. So,
and that was the first episode where Bobby joined the guys full time.
yes,
we got the full time.
The foursome.
The foursome.
Bobby Boucher.
That's what
The Whoresome Foursome. Yes.
Oh, we're
The Italian stallion.
So the next movie the guys reviewed was The Lost Boys.
Ah,
our first 5.0,
First
baby.
fiver right
Yeah.
there, which,
hell yeah.
I mean, you can't argue with that.
Oh,
Hands
hell.
down, one of the greatest vampire movie that I can think of. I mean, there's a couple other ones that I like,
Yeah.
but Lost Boys is always top for me. Even
I know
when
what-
we're having conversations at the bar, and that's it always go. What's your favorite vampire movie? Lost Boys. You can give me a better one.
I know what Brodie's gonna say.
What is it? What are you
Come
gonna
on,
say?
Brodie. Come on, Brodie.
What's it called?
Pressure.
Damn it. Night something.
No, Near Dark.
Near
There we
Dark.
go.
Oh, Near Dark's great. I love Near Dark.
Fucking Bill Paxton.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
man.
fuck yeah.
I still haven't seen
Bill
it.
fucking Paxton.
And
Look, I will say The Lost Boys is amazing film. Soundtrack, everything about that film's great. But if you had to go a fucking badass vampire, it's going to be Bill Paxton all day, every day for me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it.
Yeah,
it's a
great
It's
film.
a great fucking vampire. But you know what? There's one that I love. You can hate me for it, but there is a vampire movie out. John Carpenter's Vampires.
No, that's
I
a great film.
Fucking love that movie.
Yeah,
We used
that
to
was
watch
really-
the fuck out and just James Wood is a badass in that movie.
Fucking
yes.
A.
Fuck yes, he is. Great film.
If you've never seen it, Heather, watch it. It's fucking great.
I think I
Yes.
saw it like forever ago. I definitely need to see it again. I love James Wood.
Yeah.
No vampire ever looked as good as Kiefer Sutherland, though. It's better than the
no.
sparkly bullshit we get in Twilight.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
true.
That mullet. That fucking mullet.
That blonde ass
Glorious.
mullet. Yep, glorious mullet.
Glorious.
Yes, definitely.
Oh, and it also has Bill in it. Bill S. Preston.
Yes.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, he's in
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I forgot
Wow.
about that. Yeah.
One of the crew. Old Alex Winter. Nah, great film.
I got to meet
Yeah.
Alex Winter. I have his autograph. Oh, it's really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. What was he
Mhm.
like?
He was so nice, so down to earth. Like, I mean, like I was literally, they were doing a screening, and he did like a, talk beforehand, whatever. And in the middle of the movie, it was a theater where they sell beer. So in the middle of the movie, I went out to get a beer and he was just in the lobby by himself. And I just went up and talked to him for like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was really cool.
Mark that one on the calendar.
hmm I got to look up some of the stuff that he directed. He's done a lot of cool stuff, I've heard.
Yeah. It's more so documentary based too.
So we have episode 37. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because
Yeah.
we have a lot of shit to review and we still got a lot of shit to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Let's
next
skip
one was the Mutilator. They did Mutilator, then boom, Fall Break. And then episode 47, ladies and gentlemen, round of applause because it was another perfect film and the first appearance by Robofuck T69,000.
Woo!
Robo.
Woo! What do you remember from that episode?
That was. Oh, I remember I was nervous as fuck. Just like you, Scuba. I mean, it was one of these moments, these pivotal moments, because I was nervous as hell, and I remember TJ calming me down and this and that. But I remember, for one, that was a shit show in my head because originally he sent me the wrong link, and I watched Aliens and. Halfway through the movie, it's like, I know it's been like 20 years since I've seen this, but this isn't right.
Damn.
It was a really good learning experience and learning how the guys kind of go back and forth and talking with the guys. It was probably one of the best moments I've had. The best. I mean, just because that's when I got the start. Because I remember telling TJ, if you ever need help or this or that, if you want me to do some research on a movie, I think it was 2 days later. He's like, this was on a Saturday. He's like, you're on the podcast on Monday. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
At least you had time to prepare. I got it that same day.
Oh
Yeah. Yeah, that same day. Hey, Chad can't make it for the podcast. You want to do it? Sure. Why the fuck not? Yeah, let's do this.
You were really under the gun.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You did great though, bud. You did.
Thanks, man. Thanks.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So our next one was Maniac Cop, and that was Brodie's edition.
Apparently, that's...
Yeah, you guys, you asked me to add Maniac Cop onto the list, so you apparently wanted to say something about it.
Yes. Why?
Obviously, I just want to say, well, I think you could agree with me on this, Scuba, but great film, isn't it?
Great fucking movie. I even like the third one. I give the third one shit because it's a part 3, but it's it's still watchable. It's not one of those shitty ones.
Yeah, it definitely has its moments.
Yeah. And then we have episode 56, which was another 5.0, of course, Halloween, and another appearance by the man himself, Mr. Robofuck.
On fire.
Skippy. And that was probably my second favorite too, is just because that movie was so iconic and everybody knows it. You don't even have to go into detail. It was the best Carpenter movie other than The Thing. Number 2, The Thing, which we'll get to.
And and I love all the reviews that the guys do, but I love how whether it's a film that nobody's ever fucking heard of, some obscure random shit that fucking TJ pulls out of the ethos and is like, we're doing this one, or a movie like Halloween, like they make you want to watch it.
Yes.
Of course, everybody wants to see Michael Myers. You know what I mean? But there's tons of movies on here like Tourist Trap. It's not that great of a movie. It is a great movie. It's a great movie, but it's not one that everybody has seen. But you watch the podcast and you're like, well, fuck, that sounds interesting as shit. You know what I mean? And for a moment, when we were talking about Tourist Trap, I was like, Tourist Trap doesn't ring any bells. Isn't that Lindsay Lohan movie? No, wait, Parent Trap. My bad. But no, and then Brodie started explaining it, and I was like, holy shit, I have seen that movie. I have seen that fucking movie, and it was great, But it's one of those ones that really isn't well known, and that's where the guys excel with the Gore N More podcast, is that they make you want to watch things that you never thought you'd have interest in watching.
Absolutely.
So what, like I said, whether it be Michael Myers or something like Tourist Trap, Next episode was Pumpkinhead. Pumpkinhead, another great film there.
Oh yeah.
Right. This was the film that introduced me to the Gore N More crew. This is the very first episode I heard.
Nice.
And I fell in love with the fucking podcast ever since this episode. It was a fun time. Just hearing the boys break this film down, because I love it myself. There was some negative and positive reviews about the film, but yeah, as I said, this episode was the one that sparked it all for me. Such a great film. Stan Winston, the late great Stan Winston.
And it's go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, Steve. Yeah.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say, I just wish he was around a lot more to actually direct more horror films, because I honestly think he had a talent for gothic horror, which is like my favorite subgenre. So yeah, it was great to hear the boys break this one down for me, and yeah, as I said, it sparked interest in the podcast for me, and that was it. I fell in love with it.
And like with Pumpkinhead, for me, I love that movie, and it's one of the first movies that I saw where a kid actually died. You know what I mean? Like,
yes.
And in like a fucked up way, like, you know what I mean? Like,
yep.
He got hit by a fucking dirt bike. You know what I mean? Like that watching that is like, holy shit, completely different aspect in a movie that we had really, I mean, people die in movies all the time, but this was a kid getting run over, and we have that in Pet Sematary and stuff now, but before that, that's what really stuck in my head when I watched that one.
And when I look back at it now, it's more so that the kid slowly dies in front of his dad.
Yes.
That, to me, would be gut-wrenching.
Oh, yeah,
more than
definitely.
anything in the world. So, Even the witch, holy fuck, she would give anyone nightmares. The witch, that shit's crazy. Who was it? Someone was saying that I can't remember. It was a little bit of trivia about the film. The scene, what made Lance Henriksen take the part was where he reads in the script. His character is having a dream, and the kid pops up after he's lying next to him dead in the dream, and he says to him, basically, at what cost is this going to be? Like, that's what drew Lance into the script. And I thought that pivotal moment in the script would, draw anyone into it, I reckon.
Yeah.
It's just a touching moment, I think, for him, he said, because he's had, like, kids and that nearly had near-death experiences and that. So, yeah, great film. Heather, have you seen it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's
What are your thoughts on it?
I love Pumpkinhead. I love Pumpkinhead. I love the monster. I love how they did that. And yeah, I mean, I'm starting to get a little tired here. I think I'm struggling to come up with more insightful thoughts.
Wake up! We're not done yet.
Yeah.
All right, so let's
But that was apparently the first anniversary episode.
Yes, that was. And then let's see, we have Krampus.
So we went into the Christmas month. So Krampus was great, and Chad made a note. We talk about calzones. So that went on for like 3 or 4 weeks. This calzone joke, like the difference between calzones and strombolis, and they would just it was hilarious. And I made a comment. I made a comment to TJ in Facebook chat. I was like, I looked it up and I was like, it's all about the roll of the dough. And he brought that up in the next episode. So for Christmas they did Krampus. They did Don't Open Till Christmas, which is a foreign film, and Santa's Sleigh. And what's the one I'm forgetting? You guys remember? No.
No.
Okay. Well,
I remember the last one.
Okay. Well, anyways, Santa's Sleigh. I mean, I had already started to fall in love with the podcast, obviously, but I think Santa's Sleigh was what just completely did me in. I love Johnny for giving me this movie. I had a party, so I picked just randomly one of the Christmas movies they were going to do, and thank God I picked Santa's Sleigh because I didn't know anything about. Well, I knew Krampus, but other than that, so I had a party. I called it the Very Merry Gorehound Christmas, and we watched Santa's Sleigh. And then this was back. The podcast was still audio. After we watched Santa's Sleigh, we just sat on the couch drinking, listening to the podcast review of the movie, and it was a blast. I mean, you could not stop laughing during that movie. I mean, I dare you to try. I mean, that was Goldberg, oh God, that was just so great. So I have to watch that every Christmas now, for sure.
Oh, damn Skippy.
Oh, yeah.
And then we had New Year's with RoboFuck.
Happy New Year, RoboFuck.
Yes. We had Terror Train. This was my first watch of that one. And boy, I guess I was the only one that wasn't looking at the transvestite associate.
I knew. I knew.
I wasn't paying attention at all whatsoever. I knew there was something goofy with her, but I thought maybe it was because I was watching the shit on YouTube. I know the boys were giving me a handbasket for it. But all in all, great fucking movie.
I love Terror Train.
I loved it. It was a great episode. It was a great time.
All right, and then they did The Thing. It was another perfect 5.0, and it is the most perfect horror film according to the guys. The most perfect horror.
According to, well, maybe all of them, but definitely according to Chad.
Yeah.
And it's Chad and I both agree it's our absolute favorite horror movie of all time.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
I like it.
I feel like how
Go on, Steve.
It's not one of my absolute favorites, but I like it. Like it's one of those ones that I will sit there and watch it. You know what I mean? But it's not something that I have on repeat all the time. But
Yeah.
I love it. I mean, it's a great movie. It is a great film.
Yep.
Oh,
And
and Carpenter.
Cundy.
Wait. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Cundy. Is it
Cundy.
correct? Cundy. Oh, speaking of Cundy.
Oh, Cundy.
Ah, this is one of my surprises.
TJ.
I got an elf.
Nice.
TJ be frothing
TJ.
over that.
he's tearing up right now.
Hold on. Hold that right there. Hold it up to the camera real quick. Boom. All right. Cool. I'm sending that to TJ right now. Hey, Bowser, check this out. He's going to be like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Don't worry about what we're doing, goddamn. This is our show. This is the fan takeover. This is what we want. So then after the thing, we have The Fly 2, which we touched base on. Brodie,
Yeah.
do you have anything else you wanted to say about that?
No, not really. No.
All right. And then
We're pretty much covered.
we had Candyman, which was the first fan-picked episode, and
That was my pick.
the first episode of Gore N More that this guy watched.
Ah.
That was the episode of Gore N More that Scuba Steve watched.
Well, Brodie wanted Candyman, and I wanted American Werewolf in London. And I am going to hate him for the end of days for winning.
Ooh.
Winner, chicken dinner. I chose it because this episode was coming out. Oh, sorry. The trailer for the new Candyman come out at the time, and then TJ was like, "I'm thinking of doing a fan, make a fan favorite. What do you think?" And I said, Candyman, because the new Candyman trailer's coming out.
True.
And he's like, "Well, Heather wants to do American Werewolf," so he created a poll, and obviously the DKB was the winner.
He only won by like 2 or 3 votes.
Yeah.
I was campaigning. I was like begging all of my friends to vote for American Werewolf.
Do you know who voted for Candyman? Adam. So that's just a win immediately.
Damn.
As soon as I saw that, I'm
Right
like,
to the heart, man.
You already won the poll. You don't need to crush her anymore, bro. Come on.
I'm sorry. I hope we get to see American Werewolf in London. And I don't know if Chad's gonna. I'm sure Chad will let you watch it.
He's promised me. He promised me that it was supposed to be actually.
I can neither confirm nor deny that is one that is coming up.
Well, it was scheduled for sometime in August, and then he had to shuffle things around because of this.
Mm-hmm.
But he promised me it will happen sometime.
Candyman for the win.
Stop saying his name. You've already said it too many times.
There's no mirrors though.
Then the boys did Lost Boys: The Tribe.
The sequel. Yeah, I just watched that this past week.
That was
fun.
Yeah, that was my first time on the show.
Oh yeah.
That was my first time on the show, and as like Robo fucking Scuba Steve, I was cacking my Dax. TJ was just like pretty much, Chad's out, you're in. I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? Thank you, Mr. Bowser. And then because I didn't really know anything about what we're doing now, so TJ and Johnny had me on Wake and Bake the night before to get to get a feel for it. So that was cool. And then to ease into it the next day, super fun times on the show. So I thank the guys for having me on the show because it was an amazing experience, an amazing time. Just to talk absolute shit with the boys about the film, whether it was negative or positive, it's good. And as for the movie, I enjoyed it. I don't know about you. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was fun watch for sure.
Yeah, it's a fun watch. It's a very fun watch, and it's one of those sequels that it came out way later, and so the end scene alone was great for that movie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
100%.
And then we had Amityville 2: The Possession.
Brodie again.
Brodie again.
This is the stage where I started making Snapchat GIFs and sending it to the boys while they were on the show. And if you go back and watch it, you will see a young, is it Burt Young that played Paulie in Rocky 3 and the Rocky franchise? You'll see what I created, and hopefully you'll have a bit of a laugh. And that was a really fun episode. Because there were so many controversial things in that film that the boys took the piss out of, and I really enjoyed it. Like the brother and sister, were they incest? They had that chemistry. The priest and Burt Young, I don't know. There was all these controversial, well, not controversial, but these things that they elaborate on. It's absolute pisser. Go listen to it.
And then we have Demons 2.
It says I guest hosted.
It said it was your first.
Yeah.
Nah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Chad fucked up.
Chad Wood.
Yes, and we're calling him out right now, Chad.
Sorry, Chad. Sorry.
It's okay, Chad. It's okay, Chad. It's okay. Mistakes happen, like letting us host the 100th episode. And then Aliens, I watched that one too. That was a really good episode that the guys did. Also, one of my favorite movies, Aliens. Also, one of my favorite characters is in that movie, and I always say she's my future granddaughter, Vasquez. That's my future granddaughter.
Oh, yeah. I remember the boys hit you up on it on the episode about it.
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. That was the joke on me. And then we have the Maniac Cop 2 episode, which
that was you.
That was me. That was the this guy right here
That
that had no idea what the fuck he was gonna do. And
you seem fucking professional, dude. I was impressed. I'm obviously host a podcast.
No, never. I've never done a podcast. I've always wanted to do one, and then I had talked to TJ about doing my own podcast, and so that's kind of where it all started. Was that, and I'm still working all the kinks out of, and that's the biggest thing with me is everything has to go perfect. So I'm still working out the tweaks in my podcast. I'm having a buddy of mine work on the intro song. And so, but all that aside, that's why I guess TJ was like, hey, let's get Vasquez on the show. You know what I mean? Yeah. So he asked me, it was really cool, and then that movie itself, I mean, it's one of my favorite films. I have the cosplay for it,
Yeah.
Not many people cosplay as Matt Cordell, which is why, I was like, well, fuck, everybody does Jason. I love doing Jason, but I want to do something that really nobody else does, and I've been to tons of conventions, and I personally have never seen a Matt Cordell. Now I have online, I've seen pictures, but I personally have never seen another Matt Cordell. So when, the guys asked me to host, I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. I could talk about this shit all day,
Hell yeah.
One of my favorite films. So
I remember TJ was like, we're doing Maniac Cop 2 next week. Are you wet yet? And I'm like, hell yes, I'm wet. That's an amazing film. And then he goes, you're going to love the dude that's going to be our special guest. And I'm like, oh, cool, awesome. And then he sends me a photo of Scuba on the toilet.
On the fucking toilet, yeah.
As Matt Cordell. And I'm like, I'm fucking sold on that night.
So
great.
TJ messaged me and he's like, hey, buddy. I'm like, what? He's like, I need you to do me a favor. I was like, okay. He's like, I need you to write Gore N More episode 94 on a piece of paper, dress up as Matt Cordell, put a cigarette in your mouth, and sit on the toilet. And I'm like, dude, I don't smoke cigarettes, and I quit smoking in September. If I put a cigarette in my mouth, it's over, man. And he was like, figure something out. So I just set the timer on my fucking phone and took the picture, and I was like, God damn it, this is fucking ridiculous. But it worked, man, and it was a good episode, and it was, I guess Chad had something he was doing, so I really didn't get to talk to Chad much, except for when he was, because he was in the group chat. But that was my first interaction with Bobby and my first interaction with Johnny, and it went good. I mean, I think it went good. I would love to do another episode, with the guys as well. It's an honor to be here doing this one, and but it's like I said, guys, like it's a family. You know what I mean? And once you're in, you're golden.
Yeah.
So that's our Gore N More timeline, which took us a really long time to finish. But we got
quickly throw something in. Can I just quickly throw something in?
Yeah, go for it, man.
Tyler, I want to hear you go on a massive tangent about frailty.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh,
To us.
I fucking loved it. I think it was bullshit that
Come on.
It's a perfect movie, but I do understand how it's not horror to them. It's more along the lines of a thriller, mystery. To me, that was one of my fucking favorite Joe Jackson movies ever.
I fucking love that movie.
Oh, fucking amazing film, that one. I was like, I love the reactions of Johnny being like, fucking wow, he give it like a fucking 5? Holy fuck. Like, just their reactions. And I was like, no shit. Me and Tyler are massive fans of this film.
Yeah, I'd probably do 4.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great film. Cool.
All right. So a lot of this we touched on during the timeline thing, but anyone have any stories about what brought you to Gore N More, like how you discovered it?
Well, with me being a part of the Hearts of Darkness campaign and being an associate producer, TJ got in contact with me, and we got talking about different things and who he was and who I was, and he'd seen some of my videos of me playing guitar and that. He's like, dude, I've got, like, I don't know, we just hit it off straight away pretty much. We like the same things, have the same sense of humor, all that sort of stuff. But in having said that, he's like, I'm doing a new episode, a new podcast. Do you want to do the music for it? And I'm like, really? You want me to fucking do it? I'm pretty sure you know hundreds of people that would do it. And he's like, yeah, no, I want you to do it. So me collaborating with him on that, it grew a tighter friendship between us two, and we also got talking about Gore N More. And he's like, yeah, I host this as well. And that's what led me to listening to Pumpkinhead as the very first episode. And yeah, ever since then, hit it off. One big happy family, a scuba set, and yeah, it's pretty much history. It's great. It's been awesome.
And for me, like I said, I met the guys, or I met TJ in Blairstown, and just full of shit, you know what I mean? And added him on Facebook and just followed what he was doing, the work that he was doing, and now I'm here.
Yep.
So I just somehow got lucky and found it somewhere posted on Facebook. I think it must have been the Monster Mania group. So I've never been into like social media, like, and all these groups and all this kind of stuff. I just started getting into it probably 3 months or so. I had just started opening myself up to that whole world, and I managed to find Gore N More. Like, the gods just wanted me to find it. So it was amazing. So I listened to it for the first time in my car driving to Richmond for Thanksgiving. And that's when I tried to listen to The Town That Dreaded Sundown. And thank God, when I was driving back from Richmond, I was like, let me pick a different one, like something like The Crow or Halloween or something. And I listened to that on the way back from Richmond. And that's when I was like, okay, this is good. Because the first one did not hook me in.
What about you, Tyler?
like I said, I was looking for something, and I just literally stumbled across this Gore N More. What the hell is this? And I started listening to it. I think they only had 3 or 4 episodes at the time.
Yep.
And I just, it was literally what we talked about earlier, that first step from which I really enjoyed the first one, but I could tell, they were a little wet behind the ears, they were trying to find their spot. But from that first one to the second one, there was such a big change.
Yeah.
So, and I was just hooked. And then sometime later, I was like, oh my God, shit. I found him on Facebook, and oh shit, this is the main guy, TJ Bowser. Well, maybe I'll send him a friend request, and he friended me right away. And I actually talked to him like, oh my fucking God, like this is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
All right.
Let's see.
Were you saying something, Brodie? Okay. All right. So I feel like we've kind of, as we've gone through this, pretty much touched on people's like favorite episode, worst episode, movies that Gore N More exposed you to.
It's kind of like with talking through the timeline, we literally did everything that we had fucking set up in the questions.
Not everything.
Mostly everything. We did a lot.
Tyler, do you have a favorite slice of life story?
Oh man. I'm just playing with my toys. That to me was the best slice of life story ever, because I can just picture TJ yelling at some random ass guy in his car that's asking if he's okay. Oh, I'm just playing with my toys.
My toys.
It just set it up perfect for me.
So I think one of my favorites was Bobby. So I think it was during Christmas time. I think it was actually the Santa Sleigh episode, which makes it that much more poignant for me. He had gone to a Christmas party at his family's house, and he says shows up there, and his buddy had been there for 15 minutes, and he was already piss ass drunk. He's like, dude, what the hell? So they had this huge punch bowl of something called Jingle Juice, and
nice.
I got Bobby. I was bugging him for like 2 months. I was like, get the recipe from your uncle. We're gonna make it at Monster Mania. And so we were gonna make it at Monster Mania, but then COVID happened.
COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So that's mine.
Very nice. Very nice.
Anyone remember any computer glitches, technical glitches, or stroke out moments that were particularly hilarious?
Chocolate rain.
Chocolate rain.
Absolutely.
That's perfect. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree.
Mm-hmm. My favorite sponsor advertisement is obviously Masks by Lance.
Mashed by Lance.
Yeah.
What's the matter down here in Tennessee?
When they played it, I was like, what the fuck did I just walk into? What the hell's going on?
For the longest time too, all the boys, they couldn't help but fucking laugh
Yeah.
when that started out.
Oh, it's the best. It's like I'm down from landslide land, best premium man. And Lance, if you're watching and listening, mate, your raffles are rigged. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, damn.
Nah, we love you, brother. We love you.
Amen.
Okay. So.
Are we doing number 13?
Yeah, I think we're doing number 13.
Oh, shit.
I have been waiting for this one, but I'm not going first.
I haven't even
Fuck it, I'll
bothered to
do
look
it.
at that.
I'll do it. I don't give a shit. Okay, so fuck, marry, kill, or chain in the basement, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, fuck Bobby. He's good looking. Marry Johnny D, because come on, he looks like a great cuddler. Kill TJ because he's just too perfect. Somebody else has got to take the platform. And then we'll chain Chad up in the basement to play video games.
Oh, you stole that from me.
Next.
Well, I'll go next since he stole one of mine. Let's see. So fuck. I'm gonna go with Johnny because he's just a big teddy bear, and I think he'd be a very giving lover.
Hey.
Mary, I'm gonna go with Bobby because he's like the Terminator and Jason, and he's Hoss, and I think he could protect me from any upcoming apocalypse other than COVID.
I made a COVID too.
Murder, gotta be TJ. He's the
That's two. That is two. 2 for 2. Damn.
because my chain up in the basement, like Tyler heard me say this before he stole it, is I want Chad chained up in my basement so we can just play video games and watch horror movies for the rest of our lives.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with being in agreement here. Come on now.
I think you should go next, Scuba. I'm still trying to
All
figure
right.
mine out.
All right, so I'm gonna have to go with fucking TJ only because his beard reminds me of 70s Bush, and god damn it, I love 70s Bush.
All right.
I'm gonna marry Johnny because Johnny looks like he could cook some good fucking food, man.
Yeah.
And he looks like a great cuddler. What's up?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to murder Chad. And let me tell you why I have to murder Chad. I have to murder Chad because he did not agree with my rating of Maniac Cop 2. So Chad,
What was your
no.
rating? Were you 5?
I gave it a 5. I fucking love that movie. I don't care if I'm wrong or not. Chad's dead. He's dead. I'm murdering Chad. And then I'm gonna chain up Bobby in the basement because I will put him in his Jason Voorhees cosplay and chain him by his neck. And look at that. I got Jason chained in my basement.
Marvelous.
Right. Yeah. This is coming off the top of my head because honestly, I just looked at the question. Anyways, I'd probably fuck Bobby because he is the Italian stallion. I'd probably marry Big Johnny D because he's a big man bear for that loving. Murder Chad for the same reason as Scuba. He doesn't agree with the films that I like. So, Chad, I'm very sorry, mate. You're iced the fuck out. And I would chain up Mr. Bowser because me and him could sit in a fucking basement, smoke cones, drink piss, and watch bulk horror movies for the rest of our days.
Bravo.
DKB.
Bravo.
Wait, do that again. Who said the mate?
Not me.
Did someone
Mate.
say mate?
Mate.
I say, mate.
Scuba's actually got it down pat. I like it.
Mike.
Yeah, solid.
All right. I think I just have 3 quick little trivia questions. Does anyone remember this? What film did Chad describe as a cross between The Last House on the Left and Batman?
What the fuck?
Oh shit.
I have no idea.
All right. Well, it was The Crow.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
God damn it.
See that? That's why you're dying.
Who did Johnny say was Ron Jeremy's stunt double?
Oh fuck.
I just listened to that here a couple weeks ago too. Fuck. God.
Oh shit.
Maniac.
Oh.
Yeah, but
what? Yes.
Huh?
what was his name though? I can't think of his name.
Oh, I don't know.
God damn it. We talked about him in the damn Maniac Cop episode. I don't remember his name.
Okay, and I So I've just gone back and been listening to a lot of the old ones that I missed before. And so when this happened, I just was like, oh my God, I just started laughing. What was the first time TJ said the movie runtime was in midgets instead of minutes?
Hang on.
It's pretty early on.
Yeah, that was quite a while ago.
So it was so hilarious because it was just like a stroke out. Like it was completely accidental, and he just started laughing, and then he started doing it in the future, and now it's a thing, and I love it.
Yeah.
Is it the dentist?
No.
Damn it.
It's the Wraith.
Oh, that was really early.
Yep.
Like you said, though, complete accident. Now it's a thing. It's like a signature.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we talked about doing like a rating. You guys had talked about rating the 4 podcasters. I don't really like that idea. Like,
I think we just did that with Fuck, Marry, Murder,
Right.
Basement.
Yeah.
So we're good, and that stands. We're gonna keep it like that.
Yes.
All right. So if you guys want to start any kind of general discussion about any horror flicks you've seen recently or any cosplays or anything like that, I'm going to pop out for just a minute real quick to get something.
Alrighty then.
Yep.
I've just been working on actually masks and stuff. I had a buddy of mine that was like, hey, can you repaint this Michael Myers mask that I have multiple copies of? He sent me a picture, and I was like, yeah, I guess. And it kind of looks like a pumpkin type thing. So this is all I've done. This bad boy right here is what I did.
Fuck, that looks awesome. I saw you post that the other day, and I was like, God damn, that looks sexy.
And what I did, I have this black like cloth mask that I wear underneath when I suit up as Ghost Jason. It's basically like a blackout mask. I told him that if he wanted to wear it, he needed to put one of those on because it looks creepy as shit. Like, and then I have a Pennywise mask that I'm working on. It's just a Trick or Treat Studio mask, but the paint job on it was horrible, like horrible paint job. So I'm just touching up the paint and cleaning up the lines and stuff. And I'm not a professional mask painter or fucking figure maker or anything. I just dabble in the shit, but that's all I've been doing. I mean, and I finally got my oh shit. Oh shit,
I can't hear. Say something.
Something.
Okay, I can hear you.
All right.
Hang on, I'll be back 1 minute.
Sort of. All right, so happy birthday, Chadwick, our Dark Lord of Knowledge.
Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Yay!
Beautiful.
And she did ask all of us if we had anything Darth Vader to do this.
Yeah.
And we don't. Oh, hold on. Do it again. Wait, I got this right here.
I was going to say, you know Owlhead, don't you?
Hold on. No, I didn't bring that. I left it at my office, but here we go. Happy birthday, Chad. My red lightsaber.
Whew. Okay. Ugh.
So Tyler, what you got going on, man? Other than what we talked about in Slice of Life earlier, anything interesting?
No, things have been kind of slow going here. COVID, it didn't really hit us at first, but now it's starting to come back around. We're starting to see some people in our small town that actually have it now, so it's making its way in. So it's unfortunate.
Son of a bitch.
What do you do?
Son of a bitch.
Oh, shit.
What? Nice.
Yes.
Beautiful. Look at that face.
Sexy.
Nice.
Can y'all hear me? I can't say shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
That is a badass mask, my friend. If I'd have known we were doing this, I would have grabbed one of mine and popped it on.
Feel free to, bro.
I'll be right back.
So will I.
Got it.
Howdy.
I can't see shit. It's like that scene on Django Unchained. I can't see fucking shit in this fucking thing.
Oh, I know one thing I wanted to. Wait, what was it? Oh yeah. Well, I need to say this when Tyler gets back. But okay, so I'll mention something else. The Thing and The Fly. The movie you exposed me to reminded me a little bit of that in terms of the effects. Color Out of Space.
Great film.
Color
That's
Out of Space.
film.
Everyone needs to see that. Oh my God. Thank you for telling me about that flick.
How good is it?
Oh, it's so good. Of course, you got Nicolas Cage, so you can't go wrong there.
That's right. You can't go wrong with old Nicolas Cage.
But it's so trippy, man. You look so funny in that mask.
I was trying to find my glasses. I can't see shit.
Well, you can only have one eye.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys.
Jason's,
You look like you might need some stitches.
Jason's combined.
So this is the most recent mask that I got in, and I love it.
That's awesome.
So did you make that mask, Scuba?
No, hell no, Marcio did. For Costume
Marcio.
Studios.
Nice.
So Marcio, huge shout out to Marcio, one of the sponsors.
Literally one of my favorite masks that I own.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
So good.
Oh, Tyler, one little comment I wanted to make that I almost forgot because it was one of the questions that we kind of skipped over because we'd already touched on it. Favorite movie the podcast exposed you to? So, I mean, I already mentioned Santa's Sleigh, but one, it actually wasn't part of the podcast that TJ exposed you and I to, and I'm not sure who else might have seen it. You know, I talk to you about this every once in a while. I'm like, damn it, I want to watch that movie again. Devil's Pass. Oh my God. Thank you, TJ, for sharing that film with me.
Great.
Yeah, likewise. Yeah, that's what I love about TJ. Yeah. Just the specs on the radar that would have gone way under. Yep, he can find him, and gotta love him.
Mm-hmm.
Love that movie.
Have you ever seen it or heard of it, Steve?
I have not, but I plan to watch it.
Yep.
Good.
It's very, very disturbing.
And loosely based on a true event in the very beginning.
The Atloff Pass incident?
Yes.
Yes. Great film. Underrated.
Yes.
Yes.
We need to have Bobby. We did have Bobby's mom pop in again.
Oh, that was awesome. I forgot to mention that. That was one of the fucking funniest things. Yeah.
All right. Well, any thoughts on how to wrap this up?
Hang on.
Any last comments?
No, I think we did a really good job. We touched on a lot. I mean, it ran us a lot. We're all new. Just running things like this. I think we did pretty good.
All right. Well, once again, happy birthday, Chadwick.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Chad. Happy day of birth.
Happy day of escaping the womb.
Hey guys, are we done? Are we done with this? Is this over?
Yeah.
Are we? Cue the exit music. Cue it now. Cue it now.
All right. Thank you guys for listening. This is Heather /Slut Die. Stab you later.
This is your Roebuck T6900 saying, keep it bloody, gorehounds.
This is Scuba fucking Steve saying, I'll see you guys around.
And this is your mother licking double ganger, kanga banger from down under, saying, I'll see you motherfucking hellions later.
All right, text TJ.
So you two dig up dinosaurs?
Oh.
Tracks. Yo. 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 Yo.